Good afternoon and welcome back into Valley News Now. Adam and Russ, it's the funcast.
It is fun. It's always fun.
Always. Always.
Yes. Even when we're really angry at each other. People can't tell.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll
The
have these and we're
Falcons
having
beat the
fun.
Bears
Right.
and I'm seething with rage.
Right. Sometimes
Yeah.
we're having a great time in here, and as soon as we cut it, we're laughing. We go and we have a fist fight.
Slugfest.
So, yeah, exactly. So, yeah, but no, good to be here. And yes, no, great. It's Friday. You know what I like about this Friday is that now we're kind of hitting there. There's something about, for me, January. And I hate to say it because I know a lot of people, like January, have birthdays and everything.
Yeah.
It is my least favorite month. And I think it's
And that's because it's Joseph Williams' birthday month?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I don't like Joe. and he doesn't like me. No,
it's
I'm
well
kidding,
documented.
Of course. That's like, people are always in there writing it down and watching us.
Let's get this microphone out of the way.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
No, but what was I going to say? Oh, I think for me it's that month you realize, like November, December, you're getting into the holidays, everything's good. You get past January 1st and you're like, oh man, I'm in this thing now. And it's for a while, right?
Well, especially like we had kind of a not so crazy winter so far, and then January, we just fell off a cliff.
Yeah, temperature-wise, we've had a number of very, very cold days.
Yeah.
Even by our standards. Especially a few days there back just last week and a Monday and Tuesday. So yeah, it's nice. And then obviously, we got the rest of January. We've got February into March. We're gonna have some really cold stretches here and there.
You've really got your months down.
But thank you. I just I've been doing a lot of online work recently, just trying to catch up.
Yeah.
Georgia education. I didn't even know there were 12 months, honestly, until about 3 months ago. Which is weird because I thought that was June.
Well, in Georgia, if you go to the University of Georgia, they teach in dog years.
That's true.
So.
That's true. But now, I spent some time at Georgia Tech, so I'm above that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
But so it's just good to be here. And the other thing I love about, we'll talk about this in a little bit, but of course, football.
Yeah.
I think I told you this a couple weeks ago, I believe, or last week, that Conference Championship Sunday, and I hope this isn't blasphemy for people out there. In some ways, I like it more so than the Super Bowl. Here's why. Hear me out. I see Conference Championship Sunday as like Thanksgiving. It doesn't come with all the crazy fanfare that the Super Bowl, like Christmas, does, but you get two really good games.
Yeah.
It's like a good meal. You know what I mean? You're stuffing yourself with
you almost
football.
always get, and sometimes there's blowouts, right? But you always get like two teams that absolutely deserve to get there.
Right.
And you see some battles,
Yes.
and like we'll talk about it a little bit later, but the Bills and the Chiefs,
I know.
they're a premium example of the kind of battles we've seen in years past. We had that one where it was like they had to change the overtime rules or whatever, because the game was literally that insane.
Yeah. No, you're right about that. And even the other matchup, I'm excited about that one too, just because the Redskins have all of a sudden decided, hey, we're a really good football. Yeah, the Redskins too.
No, yes.
But the Commanders. Listen, when you're 53 and it was Redskins for like 50 years, you can't help it.
It's probably hard to unlearn that.
So I'm sorry. Yes, Commanders is correct. And I hope that I apologize for anyone that may have been offended by the fact that I called them the wrong name. I'm going to try. I'm going to keep Commanders.
There
Commanders.
you go.
I'm going to get Commanders. See, again,
also known as the Commies.
The Commies. Now you might do some apologize.
Oh, now I need to apologize. That joke writes itself, though. How did they not think of that? I don't know.
I don't know.
I thought that they had a lot of good ideas. The Red Tails was one of the ideas.
Yeah.
We're going down a rabbit hole.
We really are.
Yeah.
Talk about your week and what are your plans this weekend?
Oh, well, I'm hoping for the first time to break out, not the gritty, but the cross-country skis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really hoping. I was kind of looking out the window, and I was looking longingly, as I do.
Yes.
I wonder if I'm going to be able to ski this weekend. And it made me excited for this. I'm always excited for this, but I was like, okay, I can't wait to ask Russ about that because I'm seeing, just with the eye test, and with the feel test, I'm like, okay, it doesn't feel like I'm going to freeze to death.
Right.
It also looks like I might have enough fluff to get out on the cross-country skis finally.
I think that's good. I think as you look at this weekend in particular, temperatures are warmer. Tomorrow will be the cooler of the 2 days for a couple reasons. We'll get into this. But it's not going to be a cold by any stretch like we've seen. It's going to be much more.
Okay.
I think the big thing might have to fight tomorrow, if anything else, is just blowing snow. Pretty windy out there. And in fact, First Alert Weather Day, and we're going to talk more about that here in just a second. But that is one of the things to watch out for. I think Sunday, though, honestly, might be a good day to get out and do that.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. And yeah, a little hot dish competition Sunday.
Well, that's right. Oh,
Yeah,
that's right.
so Bobby and I are hosting that.
Yeah.
Or not hosting, but we're judging. So that's at the Moorhead American Legion. Come on out. Should be a really fun event for a fun cause. And, you know, for me, in Chicago, hot dish, let's talk about deep dish. All
Okay.
right.
Oh.
So, like, that's kind of my move. But as a North Dakota transplant, if you will, I've learned to embrace the wonders of hot dish.
Oh, absolutely. I was unaware, and again, I've, different parts of the country, different names for
I'd
things,
never
right?
heard of it
But I
before.
wasn't, the hot dish thing was, and what's funny is my wife, who lived in Minneapolis for many, many years before her and I met, when I told her just about a year ago or so, when I found out the hot dish, and I was like, I'm not even sure what that is, and she was just stunned. She's like, you never heard of a hot dish? I was like, no, is it, and then she started explaining, and I was like, oh, well, I get the concept. I've had hot dishes.
It's called a
we just didn't,
casserole.
right, we just didn't call it that.
Yeah.
But just the wording itself. And so since then, like you, I have become appreciative.
I love food.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
You sure
yeah.
do. And I do too. Did you notice, though, and I'll tell you this right before we go, I didn't know until a couple hours ago I sent you and Bobby a text regarding something, and Ethan as well. Hey, I have an event on Sunday, and you guys can do it. And you said, well, Bobby and I are judging a hot dish competition. And immediately I got angry. I was just like, not because, I'm happy for you guys. But it was like, what about me?
Leads us back
It
to our
isn't fair.
fist fight after the
Right,
show.
exactly.
Yeah,
We're going to go at it.
Yeah, we are.
I'm real happy for you and Bobby that you get to judge an event and get food that I don't get to have. And anyway, it's okay. I'm more sad.
Well, it's open to the
honestly.
public, everyone except Russ. So make your way down, and
Yes.
I'll just keep you at bay with a nice stiff arm.
Yeah, okay. I keep hitting a wall.
You can't come in the door.
I don't want to go. But no, I truly am excited for you guys. That should be a lot of fun. Do you want to get into this stuff?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so we've got the First Alert Weather Day. And this is something that we've just sat down with Joseph Williams, a meteorologist, a few minutes ago. Lisa Green we were talking about this earlier as well. Do we issue a First Alert Weather Day tomorrow? Because then what's happened is we knew it was going to be windy tomorrow. That was kind of and obviously there's snow on the ground. What's happened is we've seen weather models the last couple of runs kind of increasing those wind speeds a little bit. You reach a certain point and you go, okay, now this could be, and we're not looking at something like we had last Friday where winds were obscene, 55, 60, 67 miles per hour in Grand Forks. It's not going to be that, but we are going to see winds, I think, 35, 40 plus in some areas. That's going to cause some blowing snow. A little bit of snow coming down, scattered showers this evening and tonight, even into northwest Minnesota early tomorrow, but it's not really about the snow coming down. It's about the snow on the ground. It's about those winds really whipping that snow around early in the day, overnight tonight, actually through mid-afternoon tomorrow. So again, the reason why is more than anything just the blowing snow, obviously, for those very strong winds. So First Alert Weather Day for tomorrow for that. If you're traveling, poor visibility an issue. We've seen it, in that snow blizzard. It's just so hard to see.
Yeah.
So give yourself extra. If you're heading somewhere, give yourself some extra time and just take it easy this weekend. Roads, by the way, even now, I was driving around earlier, running a couple errands. Roads are not great as far as slickness. My car, a couple times, was doing a little spinning.
Oh, you don't like that?
No. Never been a fan. First Alert forecast. What do we have for you? We're going to take you right through tonight, through tomorrow morning here. Now, you notice we're still hanging on. I mentioned northwest Minnesota, the Roseau, Hallock, Thief River. Still the opportunity for a few snow showers rolling around. And to be honest with you, I think just about any area in our region is going to see the opportunity for snow kind of spitting around here and there through the overnight hours. We get to 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. These green arrows, I know we talk about this quite often, but just a reminder, you get the blue arrows, that's where it's breezy. You start getting to these greens, even though you see a little yellow there, that's when the winds are stronger. That's when they pick up. So we're looking at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. If you plan on hitting the road early, you're already going to be running into issues potentially with blowing snow. Winds out of northwest, what does that also mean? We look at our temperatures tomorrow morning, upper teens, low 20s, some mid-tweens as well. We head to the afternoon hours. Look what those temperatures are doing. They're dropping. So tomorrow is going to be one of those days where we actually had this on Thursday, I believe, yesterday. Or was it Wednesday? It was Wednesday. I lose track of my days. Where we started off the day with our warm temperature, and then the temperatures drop through the day. That's what we've got tomorrow. Now, it's not going to be one of those brutally cold, all of a sudden everyone's below zero type days. But you do see during the afternoon hours, the winds are blowing strong. Our numbers are going down. So by the time it is 6 o'clock tomorrow evening, single digits, low teens out there. Winds do start to settle down as we get to mid to late afternoon. So the time period really focused on for that blowing snow is early Saturday morning. So early tomorrow morning, 3, 4, 5 o'clock through about 3, 4, 5 o'clock Saturday afternoon. And otherwise, again, temperatures are just dropping. Let me show you the satellite radar right now. We did have some snow move through much of the region this morning. Now we're looking at spotty showers, but as you saw just a minute ago, we'll continue to see spotty showers through tonight and tomorrow in some areas, especially Lakes Country, I think, has the best chance there. So I want to jump ahead, take a look at expected snowfall through Saturday. If you look here, to be honest with you, it's not going to be a whole lot. You can see some areas here we might get over an inch, inch and a half, maybe 2 inches more. But to be honest with you, I think most areas are going to stay below an inch to maybe up to an inch of snow. Just some scattered showers. Some of those showers could be heavier. Again, it's more about that wind. So here's what we've got. We've got 4 locations, so hang on tight here. We've got Fargo, wind gusts starting at 5 a.m., 35 miles per hour. You can see hanging in the mid-30s, but this is a every other hour snapshot, which means I think there are going to be time periods where those wind gusts are upper 30s, maybe even 40 miles per hour in Fargo.
Oh, wow, okay.
So, yeah, so strong winds, blowing snow. Grand Forks, that same scenario. Earlier in the day, you see mid-30s, but again, could we pop up to 40 mile per hour wind? Yeah, we could. It's out of the northwest, blowing that snow around, again, causing poor issues. A couple more spots for you. Jamestown, yeah, we're up here in the upper 30s, mid-upper 30s, kind of hangs in that area from early morning through mid-afternoon tomorrow. Again, could we see a 42, 43, maybe even 45 mile per hour wind gust? Definitely not out of the question in Jamestown. And finally, in Devil's Lake, same thing. I mean, you see kind of all locations here that we've showed you, mid-30s, upper 30s, touching 40, I do think. So there you go. That kind of covers Saturday. Sunday, going to be a better day. We're going to be chilly to start, but a nice warm up. It'll be breezy for sure, not as windy as tomorrow, but winds are going to come out of the southwest. What does that do? Well, that drives our temperature up, which leads to the last thing we're going to show you here, and that is our temperature trend. Take a look at this. 19 the high on Saturday, but again, temperature dropping through the day, so we're going to hit 19 earlier in the day tomorrow, probably around daybreak. 28 on Sunday, so we're warming back up. How about next week? 5 days, Adam. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's typically how it works out. 4 of those 5 days, we are hitting at least 30 degrees.
That's music to my ears.
3 of the days above freezing, and it doesn't look like, at least to this point, maybe a little breezy, but not windy like Saturday.
Well, this is just a little, it's some much needed reprieve.
It is a
reprieve.
reprieve.
Like it's just been brutal how cold it is, and sometimes the cold, the combination of wind. I feel like the last few funcasts we've done are just kind of like, hey guys, it's going to be pretty rough.
Yeah.
This is more like, hey, it's going to be windy, it's going to be cold, but it's nothing insane.
Nothing insane, no. And in all of these temperatures, even the 19, the tricky thing about tomorrow is that 19 is our temperature around 7 a.m. That's technically above our normal high for this time of year. The problem is temperature is going to be going down, so by tomorrow afternoon it'll be, probably about 10 degrees, 9 degrees, 8 degrees colder. But once we get past that, our average high is 18. By the end of the month, they're 19. We're well above the norm. In 3 days, we're above freezing. So, and we're going to get some sunshine in there as well. So for the first time in a while, we're going to have well above normal temperatures along with some sunshine. Snow chances here and there, maybe a few scattered flurries, but right now nothing very organized. Just going to be a great way to finish off January. I will tell you, looking into February, I don't want to leave it, but if you really enjoy the real cold, it looks like early February is going to make a comeback just for you. But I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah. So that wraps it up. And I guess if I'd sum up the weather part, again, just keep in mind tonight, tomorrow, first alert weather day, strong winds, blowing snow, poor visibility, and we'll continue to see slick roads. So that is going to be an issue for those who might be traveling tomorrow.
I feel like I'm doing something important now.
Oh, you are. Yeah, no, you're doing great. I'm just going to stop and stare.
Yeah,
what I
here we
could
go.
do is use this time to
Oh,
talk,
this is
but I'm going
fun.
to just watch you.
Well, let's do this.
Oh, what
Okay,
are you
here we
doing?
go.
Yeah.
We'll pull this up. That worked well for us last time.
It did work well.
So we're going to do it again.
What I'm curious about here as we get into this, break these down, is do either one of us have any anything that's kind of coming out of nowhere? I'll tell you that before, as we make these picks, before the playoffs started, I picked Kansas City and Philadelphia to be in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And so that's still an option. But have I changed my mind? That leaves you some right there.
I had the Lions and the Ravens.
Okay. One's out, obviously. Two's out. So, yeah. I mean, that's, you know what? Everyone has a year. I had the entire season where I made horrible picks.
But you're getting hot at the right time.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I did enter a deal here where it's one of those ESPN things where it's just sign up. And I found out that I'm with the picks I have so far, I'm in the 70th or 71st percentile.
Really?
So I'm doing better than the average, which, by the way, the average in this case, 50%.
Hey, you know, we'll see. Right now, Ethan Kramer is the leader in the playoff picks. He's only gotten 2 wrong so far, which is pretty impressive. But I'm watching his dogs this weekend. Therefore, I get to take credit for all his underdog picks.
That's great. I love that.
That's how it works.
Have you even lost one yet, then?
I don't know. So here we go.
I don't mean a dog, by the way.
No. Yeah, so the Washington football team,
Yeah.
I was wrong about them. They're good.
They are good.
They're still not better than the Eagles, and the Eagles are going to win.
That was your analysis?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm glad we took the extra time for this.
Yeah, to the point.
I will. So here's what I've got for you. I think Washington has definitely surprised me. I mean, they looked very good against Minnesota. That won't say they beat the first. No, they look good against Tampa. I'm sorry.
Right.
Rams look good against Minnesota, but yes, it's right up there on the screen, easy for me to see. And so they look good against Tampa, and you're like, hey, this team that was fun. That was fun. That gives us a taste of what the Commanders could be with Daniels in future years. And then they'll get beat by the Lions, but we'll just keep this in mind, right? Then they beat the Lions.
And they kind of spanked them.
They kind of spanked them, yeah. And now I'm like, okay, this is a team who is riding a high, feeling incredibly confident. You got Philadelphia, who've won both their playoff games clearly, but even the 22-10 versus Green Bay, it was a kind of an uglier game. Eagles didn't look great. They did enough, right? Mm-hmm. Played the Rams last week. They won. Again, I mean, it wasn't. I don't know. I didn't feel like the game was ever in doubt, but at the same time,
The Rams kept it really close, and they had a chance.
Yeah.
They definitely had a chance.
So you come into it, and you've got one team that's on a high, one team that is just flat out good. Philadelphia, I still believe they're a very good team.
Yeah.
But you look at this and you go, okay, this is a very interesting game. What do we got? You're going to pull up something for me?
Well, you keep talking. I'm
Okay.
just wondering something.
Yeah, no worries. I think last I saw it was a 6.5 point spread. I don't know if that's what you're looking at.
It
there,
isn't, but
okay. You're looking at the scores.
I'm just looking at like they've been on a bit of a heater, you know,
Yeah.
just
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot. They had a long win streak in the middle of the season. They also swept the Commanders. No,
Yes.
they didn't.
They lost 36-33. Yeah.
So this is the rubber match, and it's the most important one.
So I've given you a lot of words, and what I'm going to say is I think at the end of the day, I think it is more of an ugly game than that, because I think Philadelphia, not only Philadelphia good, just flat out good, I think they can also drag you in the mud a little bit, get in the trenches, kind of, do some things that Tampa, just because Tampa wasn't good enough, could do. Detroit, so many injuries on defense, and defense hasn't been spectacular for Detroit. So
Yeah, kind of
I
their
think-
weak spot.
Right, I think Philly's a different brand of team. I do think, like you, I think Philadelphia is going to win, and it's just because of that. I think they're going to make Washington. Their defense is going to make Washington's offense just not look nearly as good as it has these first couple of weeks in the playoffs.
It comes down to me, controlling the football.
Yes.
And I think Saquon Barkley, a 2,000-yard rusher this year,
Yeah.
he had literally one of the best rushing seasons of all time. Philly has an elite offensive line, and I think that their ability to control possession is going to allow them to control the game. I do think it's going to be kind of close. Washington's really good, and a rookie's never won the Super Bowl.
Right.
Ben Roethlisberger won it his second year.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow went there his second year.
Yeah.
But if Washington's able to make it, which maybe they can,
Yeah.
it's going to be quite a even making that game as the 6th seed, just incredible. You can kind of throw the seeding out the window as far as NFL goes because
Yes.
there's a lot that goes into it. But they are just so much better than I gave them credit for. I think it's important to admit when you're wrong.
Yeah.
I was wrong. They're
That's okay.
awesome. They're a really good team.
Yeah, I do want to say real quick, I think the first quarter is going to tell a lot in this game because I think Philadelphia could pretty quickly, if they can stymie Washington, get up by 7, 10 points, something like that. I think it's going to be real difficult for Washington. I think if Washington can hang in there through that first quarter and a half, and you look up and you see the scoreboard and Washington is maybe up by 3, then I think at that point it's just anyone's. And then Washington's got some confidence. I want to say this about Barkley because I think not only was he the best running back on the Eagles this entire year, but I think he's the best running back for the Eagles over the last 2 years.
Ever.
Yeah, I mean, of any running back they've had over the last 2 years, I think Barkley's the best.
I think he's literally the who's their running back the last 2 years? Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, and I think he's better.
yeah. All right, this next one.
Yeah.
I was surprised it was a sweep on North Dakota today. We all took the same team.
Okay.
Who do you have? Bills, Chiefs.
I told you what I said at the beginning.
Yeah, you're sticking with your guns.
I said I picked it before the thing started. I picked the Chiefs and the Eagles. That was kind of, and I had the Chiefs winning it. I'm picking Buffalo.
I'm picking Buffalo.
How about that?
I just think that they finally get the monkey off their
Yeah.
back. They've been so close to beating Kansas City for so many years, and I think that their whole everything
Yes.
was built to be like much like South Dakota State for years against North Dakota State.
Right.
They started to build their roster to beat the Bison.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and eventually they got a few wins over them.
Yeah.
I think I look at Buffalo and I look at some of the, even getting rid of Stephon Diggs, it was kind of interesting, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they've spread the ball
Yeah.
a lot better. Josh Allen has cut down on turnovers. The power run game is no joke. They've been so much better ever since promoting Joe Brady to offensive coordinator. He could be a head coach next year.
Yeah.
I think that they just finally do it. I don't have any like hard-hitting stats to back me up. This is a gut feeling. I think the Bills finally do it. I think that they get there, and I think they win it all. I think they win the Super Bowl.
Okay. I think I don't want to take it that far just because I want to, get. I've always said this.
See,
one game at a time.
I've been
I look
wrong
at
so many times throughout the playoffs. It's like the Lions are going to do it. The
Yeah.
Ravens are going to do it.
Yeah.
Here's me saying the Bills are going to do it. And that way, when the Bills lose this Sunday,
Yeah.
you say, oops.
I'm going to go, no. I'm like, I think that's what it came down. I was thinking about this just in the last probably 24 hours as I've been kind of thinking, oh man, this exciting weekend that I love is coming up. Everything has kind of told me Kansas City up until the last 24 hours when I really started thinking about this game, and then there was something pretty quickly switched to my mind. I mean, just a switch came in. I was like, no, I think Buffalo's going to win this, and I think it's almost exactly the way I drew up in my head was the way you're saying, which is just that gut feeling of like, I think it's Buffalo's time.
Yeah.
I think Josh Allen is going to shine in this. He's going to need to, and I think he's going to. I think Buffalo's defense is going to be able to just get to Mahomes enough to kind of basically, give Buffalo, they kind of throw them a little bit off. And I think, like you said, the power running game for Buffalo. Yeah, I just, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, a lot of
Kansas
people
City won so many ugly games this year. Like,
Yeah.
you kind of wonder if something's going to eventually catch up with them, and that could be this weekend.
I'll tell you this, it's funny you said that because Kansas City did very much the same thing last year, which is when they hit the playoffs, I thought this is just not going to be. If you remember, Kansas City was on the road last year.
Yeah.
And I just thought and they just kept winning until they didn't have any more games left.
But Patrick Mahomes is probably watching this, and he's laughing at us.
Oh,
he's
always,
probably doing the Michael Jordan thing with his iPad, and I took that personally.
Right. Well, and he's laughed at me over the years so many times.
Yeah,
Mahomes,
he really doesn't like you.
No, and he loves to laugh. He's a real laugher.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So at the end of the day, I think Sunday night we're going to be watching and going Buffalo, Philadelphia. going to the Super Bowl. I don't want to make a pick on that yet because, to be honest with you, I don't even want to get to. That's like the finale of the season. Then we have to wait a long time for football.
Yeah.
I didn't want to start thinking about what might happen to the Super Bowl until we get past here.
We got a long time to cook that popcorn. Slow cook the popcorn.
Slow cook now.
Oh, is that a song you just wrote?
Take it easy.
Okay. Oh, I see what he did there.
Yeah.
Have a great weekend, everybody. Get out there, have some fun, be safe, and we'll see you next time.